What up, y'all? It's your boy MJ Duplessis, aka Wheels, and I'm here with the first episode of my new show here on the channel called Inner Circle with Wheels, where I interview some of my talented friends. And today we have a battle rap and music icon, a
Mhm.
guy who has traveled around the world saying disrespectful shit to people. He is a recording artist. He is from the great city of Detroit, one half of in my opinion, the greatest 2-2 team in battle rap history. Marv Won. Marv, how you doing, big bro?
What is going on, legend? Thank you, man. I'm honored to be the first person on the show, man.
All right. So, first question to you. Like I said, you are from the great city of Detroit.
Very
Uh,
true.
as somebody who grew up in the 90s and 2000s, Detroit was such a big impact on my life just watching it from afar when it comes to music and just pop culture. What was it like growing up in the city?
Um, so I didn't know how much of a melting pot Detroit was until I went to other places. Um, I didn't realize how good I had it when it came to learning about different nationalities because we do have the biggest Middle Eastern population in the country. We have a thriving Mexican town. Like it's not as separated as other places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and then just as far as culture, like the things that like I learned or like the things that happened in the city, it gets such a bad rap. You know what I'm saying? Like it was and is a really, really good place, man. Like it has its pockets just like everywhere else, but the city itself is really, really dope. Like I wouldn't have chosen anywhere else to grow up in, respectfully.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go there. One day, hopefully, I can get out there and visit
Yeah, man.
because it was, again, a big influence on my life just watching from afar. Uh,
Hmm.
like I said, you're a music artist, recording artist. What were you listening to growing up? What were your influences?
Um, what were my influences? I was a huge KRS-One fan. I was a huge Slick Rick fan. And then I got in tune to people from my city who were making music. So the Awesome Dre's, the Merciless Amirs. I was a huge Slum Village fan, a huge D12 fan. Um, that's really what I was listening to around those formative years. To a lot of Slum Village, everybody was making beats like Dilla, and to a lot of
Dilla's a
D12.
god.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of D12, everybody was rapping like Proof. So yeah.
Do you remember some of the first raps you ever wrote? Do you?
Some of the first I remember the time. I don't necessarily remember
Yeah.
the bars, but I do remember being in elementary school, me and my best friend at the time, my man Bobby, who I'm still cool with to this day. When we got our little composition notebooks, we used to write raps in them. We called ourselves Partners in Crime, PIC. This was maybe like fourth grade, third, fourth grade. So yeah, it's always been a thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I may have said I was gonna try other things, but I always knew what I was gonna do.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You're a talented man, so knowing what you and you're very straightforward and like get what I want kind of guy, knowing you. So that,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
like you said, you grew up listening to D12, and
Yes.
you're known as one of the proteges or what they call proofs kids. You coming under the legendary Proof, R.I.P. to the mayor of Detroit, the GOAT.
Definitely, definitely.
You have any great or funny Proof stories?
Man, so Proof was always like what made Proof so special was that even in the midst of his success, which was like really, really huge, he was never a person who wanted it to like just himself.
Yeah.
So he was always he was always sharing with us, whether it was me, whether it was Quest, whether it was Ty Ferris or Fat Father or Famous, like a Killer Khan or anybody in that space. So one day he called me. He called me. I was still living with my mom at the time. He called me and was like, "Yo, what you doing?" I'm like, "Shit." He's like, "You want to go to lunch?" I was like, "Yeah, I go to lunch." He was like, "Cool, I'm outside." I said, "What?" So went outside and he used to do this. We used to do this thing called the run, called the 8 Mile run, where you would go to every strip club on 8 Mile and have a drink. So we did that, and the day turned into night. And by the time he dropped me back off, you know what I'm saying? Like I had, a few to drink, and so did he. And my mom used to have these hedges in front of her porch. And I remember he got out the car and just ran and just dove into the hedges, like left a hole in them. So, I went to sleep. My mom banging on my door the next morning. Bang, 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 bang. Who the fuck put a hole in my bushes? I said, what? He said, who put a hole in my bushes? I said, proof. He said, call him right now. I called him. He like, what up, dude? I was like, my mom want to talk to you. He like, yo, mama. And she gets on the phone and like, proof, you too damn old to be playing in people's bushes, yada, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. Like, cussed him out. And then gave me back the phone. And he was like, man, you told on me? I was like, man, what you want me to do, bro? Like, I got to stay here.
Facts like that.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
crazy.
What the hell you want me to do, bro?
So,
But yeah, yeah.
I have a question about proof because I've heard this story. Dinosaur arms.
Oh, the T Rex arm. Yeah, he turned to the
Yeah,
T Rex. Yeah. So,
that was
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, man.
That's funny. Okay,
He'd make his arms real short, turn to the T Rex, and he would just like jump on you and bite you. Yeah, for
that,
sure.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Uh, Another, I don't know time wise, but I know another group you linked up with was the Fabulous Fat Killers.
Hmm.
You, Bizarre, Fat
No,
Father.
nope, nope. Bizarre. Busy was never a killer. Busy was always like killer adjacent. He was always like the
Okay,
big homie. But it was me, it was Fat Father, it was King Gordy, and it was my man Bang Belushi. That was
okay,
us.
all
That
right.
was us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you link up with those guys?
So when I start coming around the city and start making my name or whatever, there was an open mic that was really, really popular in a city called Hamtramck. It was called the Lush. And that's where all the dope people went. um I was being kind of like managed or being taken around by this guy named Cobb, RIP. He used to run a group called the Teamsters, and Fat Father was in the Teamsters. Me and Fats are only a year apart, but Fats always seemed like so much older and like more mature, and so like further ahead than me. So um we clicked like instantly. Like that became like Fats became like my best friend. um we were both bigger guys, so people used to link us together. um and then one night outside of the club, um Fats made he was making a joke. He was like, yo, I'm fat, you fat, we both some killers, man, we should just be the fat killers. So I was like, ha ha ha. And my man Cobb, Big Cobb, was like, well, if y'all serious, you know what I'm saying, like we should add, like y'all should add in Gordy. So we went to the studio, we cut a song and didn't have a hook. So we was like, damn, who can we get to do this hook? And Cobb again suggested our man Bang Belushi. And he came in and did the hook, and it was like instant. And it was like one of those moments where we were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a lot easier with four people instead of, you know what I'm saying, me trying to get it out the mud on my own. That was probably the best time I've had in music. Um, toured the country, uh record deals, like all kind of recognition. Like it really, really happened really quickly. Um, and yeah, that was really my foundation here in the city, man. R.I.P. Cobb. Shouts to Fats. Shouts to
Right.
Gordy. Shouts to Bang. Yeah.
Um, so when did battling become like a thing for you? When did that you
So I feel like everybody who raps goes through the phase where um they battle, whether it's somebody telling you like, yo, my man who go to this school is the best over here, so you like, oh well, I'm the best over here, so we got to meet up in battle. Or your man hyping you up like you the best in the neighborhood, somebody calling you on the phone on the three-way. So that was kind of always the thing. When I got to high school, uh the king of my high school was a rapper. He's still rapping today, really good, man. His name is Big Gov. He wasn't going by Big Gov then, but you know what I'm saying. His name is Big Gov. He was like the king. He was like the king of the high school. He could make the beat and rap at the same time, like at the lunch table. I was like, oh, he's fucking phenomenal. And he was my measuring stick. Like he was the person, you know what I'm saying, that I was chasing. Then when he left, you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of became the guy that people were chasing, and it just kept you sharp. When I got out into the city, maybe around 18, 19, I found that battling was a easy and free way to get promotion for my music. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. Um, I was literally just battling for people to say he's dope, and then I could have their attention and be like, "Hey, listen to my music." Um, that's legit all it was. So
huh?
once I realized that battling could take me other places and I didn't necessarily have to pay for it, I was like, well, I'm just gonna ride this out and see and see where it takes me. And
And
here
it's
we are,
taking you far.
20, 23, 24, 25 years later. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm still here.
Um, so I heard about these battles a few years ago when they dropped finally on YouTube. Tell me about those battles that happened in the office building that was owned by Proof. That were happening like in '04.
Yeah, man. So we had our own version of uh the Fight Club battles that were really, really popular at the time. Um Like we would look at them, we would see Sirius Jones, we would see Sam Scarfo, like we would see Axel, we would see all these people and be like, oh shit. Proof and Bizarre really put those together for us. Um, and it was basically like it was a kennel. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like those were dog fights. A lot of those battles that you saw, or a lot of those battles that happened weren't friendly battles. They weren't between people who liked each other. They were between like legit, like I don't want to say enemies because it was still rap shit, but it was people
You
were
can
at
tell the
odds.
tension on YouTube.
It was a lot of tension. There was a lot of money in those buildings. Some nights it was a lot of protection in those buildings. Um, yeah, man, that's kind of the essence. That's kind
Yep.
of the essence for me. Like walking in, not necessarily knowing how this is gonna play out. Um, yeah, man, but I did my thing. I did my thing in there, man.
Yeah.
It was
Those.
the time. It was the time, little bro. I was him.
Yeah.
I was
You're
him.
still him.
Yeah, but I
Well,
can.
stop at you first ballot.
Yeah, I don't have the same desire I had at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes a lot to bring that desire out of me now. But back then, I wanted to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like I feel like people should know I'm the guy. You know what
Facts.
I'm
Okay.
saying?
So, we're gonna get away from the battle rapper question since
Okay.
you get to that little 2000s there. You had a significant moment happen in your life in the year 2002.
Hmm.
What was it like, and how did you get involved with 8 Mile and ending up on that DVD extra?
Um. So at the time, they did film 8 Mile here, all of the extras, like in those scenes, like the club scenes or the battle scenes, like
Yeah.
they were rappers. So it was like we all were able to just congregate all day, and we got a check for it. They were long days though. So with the days being so long, man, the people in charge, the director, R.I.P. Curtis Hanson, really cool guy. They decided to do like a contest, just like to keep people to keep the spirits high. And it was like, hey, if you're one of the people we pick, um, we'll come up here, shoot you in the film, and you'll be B-roll footage. You'll be part of the montage as B Rabbit gets to his final battle. I was one of the people. Um, and I kind of had a following. My personality is as such as I'm a standout, and that's what it was. And for me, one of the biggest things I took away from it was no matter how successful you become, a lot of people like don't lose your sense of competition. That's what Eminem showed me that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So super super duper blessed. It changed my life. It made me a household name, and it opened a lot of doors for me that may have been more difficult to get through. So I'm always indebted to everybody who helped me with that process.
All right. So you're famous for being part of a 2-on-2 team.
Hmm.
You guys travel the world.
I'm famous for being part of the greatest
Yes.
2-on-2. Okay, all right.
Yeah, the greatest 2-on-2 team.
Oh, okay,
How did
okay.
you meet and link up with Quest, our brother?
Uh, Quest. People think that me and Quest like grew up together because of how close we are now, but the reality is that me and Quest weren't cool. Like I respected his talent. I thought he was super dope, but we didn't run with the same people. Um, we didn't grow up with each other. What was the catalyst was there was a company called Jump Off that was doing a uh a 2-on-2 team type battle, and the grand prize was $50,000. At that time that was unheard of. You know what I'm saying? The story behind that though is that both he and I asked somebody else if they wanted to partner up. We both asked a rapper from here named Swan. Swan was like one of them, like the battle guy. He went to Scribble.
I was about to
Uh
say, shout out to
yeah,
Swan because I've
super
never seen him on MTV as a kid
yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah, super shouts to Swan. So we both asked Swan, and Swan declined both of us. And then it was like, well shit, you want to do it? And legitimately that's how me and Quest became cool.
All right.
Yep, the hours of rehearsing and like learning each other just so we could try to win this money.
But what was that WRC experience? Because that's where I first saw y'all, like on some battle rap shit. Was the
Hmm.
WRC's Comcast on demand, the
Hmm.
Detroit qualifier, which interesting story behind that Detroit qualifier against the guy
Hmm.
named Arsonist.
Hmm.
That wasn't actually the guy. Well, first off, what was the WRC experience, and what's the story behind that 2-on-1 beating that you gave that man?
Man, well, the experience was really grueling. Like it was a grueling process. Like it was an all day process. Like had us in this warehouse, like for the actual qualifiers and shit. It was super duper, like it was tiring. Um, as far as the arsonist guy, I don't know did his partner just not show up or something like that. But unfortunately, he ended up he ended up on the loser. He ended up on the wrong side of history, man. Like
You
it
guys
just happened that
line
way.
beat your ass for like 90 seconds, and it's the greatest thing in the world.
Come on, man. Like so that's why I say we're the greatest. I think you can argue best. I think DNA and K Shine took it to another level. I do think Tay Rock and Sue Surf Free to Wave really, you know what I'm saying? Like they took it to another level. But as far as like foundational, me and Quest made it cool for us, for people who look like us.
Yeah,
And we had one bad showing in 20 years. Like that has to count for something. You know what I'm saying? So
and I
super,
think
super.
y'all won that battle. So
So here's my thing. Here's my thing, Wills, and this is what I tell people. I understand that people are enamored with New Jersey Twerk. He's a force of nature. That's the first time in my career I ever stood in front of somebody and was like, "Oh shit." Like they don't care what I say. Like they
yeah,
don't care. Like they're here to see him. And I tell people that second round, they smoked us, right?
yeah,
That third round, we smoked them.
yes.
We smoked them. And what I'll say to this
That
day,
first
that
is debatable.
first round, you can argue that first round. That's all I'll ever say. I won't argue that we won it. I won't argue that they won it. What I'll say is, if you go back and listen to that round, it's not a wash round on either side. You
No,
know what I'm saying? I just think people love, and rightfully so, people love Twerk. He's a breath of fresh air. But that battle isn't as one-sided as people like to make it.
you're not gonna argue. I think y'all won that. Like maybe bias there, but
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'll say, man. That's all I say.
Uh, so how does it feel being a pioneer in that 2-on-2 realm with battle rap, being pretty much the faces of 2-on-2s? It's like you and Quest, and then like a Thesaurus and Omac. How does that feel for you when you say here pioneer of 2-on-2 battles?
Uh now it holds weight. Now there's some validity. In the moment, it just felt like, it just felt like another thing to do. You know what I'm saying? In hindsight, when you look back on it, you definitely feel like, oh, I was really blessed to be here, to be put in a position to, forge a new path. Shout outs to Il Macathsaurus too, like absolute legends. Can't front on them. But it feels good when you're able to see something grow from a seed that you helped plant. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Or seed that you helped take care of. And that's how I felt. That's how I felt when URL did their first ever 2-on-2 event. Like, damn, like, not to say that it wouldn't have happened without us, but I definitely feel like we showed that there's value in it. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And that's all. Like, you just want that. Like, you want it to keep growing, you want it to keep going. And like, I'm super happy to be a part of that part of the story. Legit.
I understand. So going back to after WRCs, you get linked into a league that is known as pioneering the written section in every battle rap in grind time. How did you get with the grind time?
So after WRC, I think I was kind of like done with battle rap. It didn't end the way that it should have ended, and I had kind of taken a
Yes.
step back from it. Um, and Direct was very instrumental, or he was the reason that I ended up battling on Grind Time. I was kind of done with battle rap. I was cool with where I was at as far as legacy, and I saw Grind Time take off. Super happy for little bro. He's a genius. And he called me and said, he was throwing the biggest battle event ever, which at the time I think was it Battle of the Bay or
Yes.
MOB? It was Battle of the Bay.
Yeah.
They threw Battle of the Bay. He offered me Averb, who I had no idea who Averb was. No, like no disrespect. At that time though, just like my antennas weren't up. You know what I'm saying? I think I watched him battle Hollow, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, he lit. Yeah, I come back for that. And it was a monumental thing. I think we had one of the best battles of that weekend, and I was right back at the bug again. You know what I'm saying? Super shouts to Verb, man. Verb, throughout all the years, I've seen Verb talk super crazy about everybody, but you know what I'm
Facts.
saying? You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out to
Like,
Verb. I like Verb, but it
yeah, for
is what it
sure.
is.
Verb always credits that moment as something special for him, and it was special for me as well. You know what I'm saying? Because it let me know like that people cared. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to hear me. Legit.
Um, So, what are some like grind time era battles that people who don't watch battle rap or want to get into like the history of battle rap, you think people should watch?
Dumbfounded and Tantrum.
Great battle.
Um, Heartless and Calico.
Oh, Heartless is an underrated talent.
Heartless and Calico. Um, uh, Quest and Head Ice.
Good. Yeah.
Um, it's a couple. It's a couple Fredo battles, some Reverse Live, like some Madness battles. Madness was really like super dope to me.
Yeah.
Um, like during this golden era, man, like Grind Time was it. Like they were it, and I was super
I
happy. I was super happy to be a part of it.
I know when I was in high school, that was always a thing of like, okay, what grind time battle has been dropped today?
Yeah,
That
definitely.
was
And they were on fucking World Star and shit like
yeah,
that. Like Grind Time was a very big deal. And anybody who takes the route of it being like nerd rap or like those funny or backpack yada yada yadas, like a lot of your favorites now were on Grind Time, whether it was Cortez or Hollow or DNA, like a lot Disaster, Pass, like a lot of those people were on Grind Time. Like don't I hate when people try to like undersell it. Like that's not a thing.
yeah, no. And there are a lot of great underrated battlers that I don't think people who watch battle rap now know about, like an XI
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
like a Heartless. It's like the new era battle rap fans ain't gonna know about the talented battlers that were on grind time that just kind of
Yeah.
stopped battling.
Yeah.
Um, also around this time, you ended started battling in Canada for KOTD.
King of the
What
Dot.
was yeah, King of the Dot? Was it like going up to Canada for the first times as a battling for King of the Dot and the different I don't want to say cultures, but like the different uh audiences.
Well, the audience weren't the same. Like, people who enjoy rap are going to be the people who enjoy rap, but the people who enjoy battling are going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just like going. It's like if I'm a person that loves wrestling, I'm gonna enjoy GCW just as much as I enjoy WWE. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was. Um,
This show wasn't gonna be anything about wrestling,
yeah,
but you
yeah,
mentioning GCW just like
I did that on purpose. I
salute.
did. That was for you. That was for you, champ.
That was awesome. Wasn't expecting that.
Um,
That's funny.
um. No, so I think I had it pretty like I had it pretty easy going to Canada though, because it's not like I wasn't battling people who people didn't respect. My first battle in Canada was Lopesci. Lopesci's a
True.
legend. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. Yeah.
Yeah, like Lo is a legend. Like my next battle was Pat Stay, RIP. Like he's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have, and I think it was due to who I was too. So I'm like, yeah, like I really fucked with King of the Dot. I still do. Like King of the Dot put me in a space recently that kind of like allowed me to have a resurgence in my career. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying with the tournament. So like I have nothing but the utmost respect and love for King of the Dot. Shouts to Organic, shouts to Gully, RIP Bishop Brigante. Um yeah, man, like I'm waiting for them to do Blackout again. Blackout is an incredible event.
One of my favorite events in battle rap.
Yeah, for sure.
That
Blackout is
like,
incredible.
that concept is amazing. And
Incredible.
you versus Pat is one of my favorite battles ever.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it at the time, but you know what I'm saying? It's
I
you
know
know,
there was tensions high in that battle.
it was a little bit, man. It was a little bit.
uh, so we're gonna really end this out here soon. Who's some battlers uh that you haven't battled yet that you would want to?
T Top is probably number one on my list. Uh, T Top is number one on my list. Um, uh, who else makes sense? Coffee Brown. Coffee Brown is on my
Oh,
list.
okay.
Coffee Brown is on my list. Um, actually, Shuni the rapper is on my list. I want to take battles that force me to get into a different kind of bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think all of those people will force me to go outside of the typical things that I may do. It's like I say those names out of like respect too. Like I'm a huge fan like of all of those people.
Yeah.
But T Top's probably number one. Like I don't feel he's representing fat people correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gave him the blueprint. He's not following it. So
That would
we're
be a
gonna
fire
talk about
battle.
it. Gotta talk about it.
So in 2020, you and Quest kind of helped bring me into a crew that we kind of represent, and which a name that will be said many times on this channel with this show, Upstairs Game.
Big upstairs, man. The
Yeah.
big stairs.
Shout out to
Stairs.
the
So
family.
yeah, shout outs to the family. So that was due to the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was a new app, Clubhouse, because everybody had to stay in the house. Um, and it was just basically like you go find your tribe. Um, and we found our tribe. We found like-minded people who enjoy the same things that we do. We're able to have both analytical, serious, and then like super juvenile, infantile discussions. Um,
Facts.
like it's fostered lifelong friendships. It's fostered um love. It's fostered like everything. Like I'm really grateful for that. I'm super happy for and I hope that we give just as much as we take, you know what I'm saying, from everyone.
Yeah.
And we've done meetups, we've done cards, we've done friendsgiving, like all kind of shit. Like
I
it's
need to
definitely
get
it's
to one of these.
yeah, it's definitely more than just like a little like social group. Like these people like are legitimate, like we are legitimately family. So
Yeah, we've definitely become family. How do you think Upstairs Gang has helped you on the creative process? Because
you
we have the most talented, in my opinion, group of friends in Upstairs Gang.
I think that's why. I think because I don't want to be the person who is living off of his name other than his talent. And it's very like it can be humbling because there are some really talented people. And I don't think for the most part, I don't think we pull punches. And it's because I got back to a place where I wanted to impress my friends. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's the thing. Also leading into, another crew, you know what I'm saying, the Big 72. Shouts to Real Deal, shouts to
Yes,
Quest McCody, shouts to A War, shouts to Chilla Jones, shouts to my man Prime Primo. It's just like all of us holding each other accountable, you know what I'm saying, for each other and pushing each other, not allowing us to live in mediocrity. So that's what
yeah.
both of those that's what both of those mean for me.
I was going to bring up the Big 72 actually
Mhm.
afterwards because that started leading up to
Because
the
of
band.
you. That
Yeah,
started because of you. That started because of you.
and yeah, I
That
didn't even get
started because of
mentioned
you.
on the list of names. What was
That
that?
started that started because of you, man. Because sometimes you gotta keep the CEO, and like you don't want people knowing his
Touche.
business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that started because of you. You definitely were very instrumental in showing me a different side of shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that started because of you. You were definitely the glue that kept us from splintering that weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
under
that's
the
why
just
that's
I'm
why
happy
I'll
things did not turn
always
left that weekend.
yeah, that's why there isn't a smoke signal that you could send out that I wouldn't answer for you. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely love you. I'm genuinely proud of you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm super honored to be the first person on the show.
Thank you, Marv.
And yeah.
Just the fact that you were able to take, you guys have been able to take what was that weekend, and you guys have turned it into this crew of
Right.
talented battle rappers, and
Right.
you're literally there ain't a member of that team. There's usually 3 or 4 of you on a car.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. We always try to support each other too, even if we're not on the card.
Yeah,
I genuinely enjoy being around my friends. So,
yeah,
like, that's the thing. That's a legit thing.
yeah. So again, yeah, shout out the Quest, shout out the Chilla, Real Deal,
Hmm.
A Ward, Primo.
Yeah, come on, man. We living out here, man. We getting to it.
Yeah, I have to talk to guys up here and try to get the 72 up here
Yeah,
again
man. Come on, man. We doing it, man.
because Primo and A Ward are the only 2 members of the team I have not met yet, and I feel like
Really?
yeah, A Ward
Oh,
hasn't.
okay.
A Ward battled up here when I was locked up in the facility.
Ah, okay. Okay,
He
okay,
battled the
okay.
homie MT Money.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, and
So,
Stewie Newton. Add Stewie Newton to the list of people I want to battle.
oh yes, that needs to happen. The fact that I've been asking for that battle for about 5 years, 6 years.
But the only reason I want to do it though is just because Stewie say he done, and I think he's really too. I think he's too talented to be done. So if I could get him outside for the people, you know what I'm saying, I would
I've
do
been
it.
telling Stewie that for years, man.
Yeah,
You're not the only one. I've
yeah,
been trying to ever since he announced his retirement. I've been trying to get him out.
definitely.
All right, so we are going to end this interview with a game that I'm going to be doing every episode of this or that, and
Okay.
5 questions, and they will be very specific to the person I'm interviewing.
Okay.
First question: Detroit style pizza or the Detroit style coney dog?
Detroit style pizza. I think Jet's Pizza is the most underrated pizza in the world, bro. I fucking love it. Buddy's Pizza is a bop, man. It's not Chicago pizza is lasagna. New York pizza is like sheets of paper. Give me a good Detroit style pizza. I'm good.
Buddies is the first. If I come to Detroit, Buddies is the first place I want to
You gotta
go.
come on, man. You gotta go, man. You gotta go. It's the best.
Barry Sanders or Calvin Johnson?
Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders. Yeah. Although I do think Megatron is probably like I do think he's an argument for being one of the best like receivers in his era. I think Barry is in the argument for being one of the best running backs of all time, and that holds weight.
Okay. Ben Wallace or Bill Lambier?
Bill Wallace, Bill Laimbeer couldn't fight. Like he always fought, but he really couldn't fight, bro. Like so, and then he kind of let Isaiah take the rep for them
Early.
walking off on the Bills for the walk off for on the Bulls, and then being with guarding Shaq one on one in the paint, bro. Like I'll take Ben Wallace.
The Pontiac Silverdome or Ford Field?
Ford Field. I'll never go to Pontiac for anything. I want Ill Will McMyer and Will P and JC to move out of Pontiac so bad, bro. Pontiac is the worst.
Oh, shout out to the homies of the Yak.
You
That
know what
is
I'm saying? Nah, I'm just talking shit. Shouts to the Yanks there. But no, Ford Field for sure. Makes our downtown look really good.
okay. Moon Mist or Rock and Rye?
Rock and ride. Because if I want Moon Mist, I can still get like a Mountain Dew, or I can still get like something in that world. But Rock and Rye is his own animal. Rock and Rye is his own animal. I don't even know what flavor Rock and Rye is. But yeah, Rock and Rye. That's a good
I
question.
I I was like, oh, this is the most Detroit question ever.
Ever.
Nobody else is gonna understand that.
Ever. That's so good.
Again, Marv, thank you for this interview, big bro,
Of course, brother.
and for everything
Anytime.
you've done for me. And
Anytime, brother. Anytime. Tell your parents I said hello.
please let everyone know where they can find you when it comes to your music and your battle rap.
What's up, man? On all platforms, Marv Won, MarvWon. Today is May the 6th. By the time this drops, me and my man Metasoda's project called I Know Right should be out. You can go to Bandcamp, ikrmusic.bandcamp.com. Support the people, man. Big upstairs, big 72. Uh yeah, that's how we
Mhm.
doing it.
Thank you, brother.
My brother.
Y'all have a good day.
Same to you.